Hello and welcome. My name is Sally and I'm the president of Agile Transformation, agiletraining.com. Thanks for visiting us. So I want to give you the scoop on the new PMI Agile Practitioner Certification. This is the new PMI ACP, and tell you a little bit about the interview that I had with the product owner, who is Rory McCorkle, and some of the latest updates on the pilot program. So what is this ACP certification about? Well, PMI has basically introduced the certification in May 2011, and the goal from the certification is to validate the practitioner's ability to apply agile practices and principles to basic projects. So this is not an advanced level certification, this is still an entry level certification, but it does have a little bit more rigor compared to some of the other certifications. You might be surprised to know, but Gregory Ballestero, who is the former president of PMI, actually said that there's a widely held belief that PMBOK Guide and Agile don't mix or don't get along. That's probably not true, since the new PMBOK, the PMBOK version 4 and definitely the new version 5 edition will recognize Agile in so many different ways. He also mentioned that Agile is not just popular within the software industry, that it is definitely moving into mainstream activities in manufacturing and telecommunication fields. So it's definitely on the growth. For you to really understand the relationship between the PMBOK Guide and Agile, take a look at this umbrella. This umbrella really shows you that PMBOK is sort of the Bible, the guide for project management. It tells you what you need to consider when you are doing a construction, automotive, government, or software project, and many others. Agile, Lean, Kanban, Scrum, all the methods really are a way for you to practice the how. They give you a lot more techniques in terms of how do you actually deliver on a lot of these principles and practices that PMBOK is guiding you towards. So PMBOK really is a guide. It does not actually institute or favor one technique for execution. You could choose waterfall to execute, you could choose Agile, you could choose Kanban. That's really the relationship. So why are organizations moving towards Agile? Well, there's a ton of studies out there, but I just wanted to show you a few. Business stakeholder satisfaction has definitely increased with Agile adoption. Customers feel like Agile teams are more aligned with their business needs, they are more responsive to their changing demands, and of course, time to market definitely has accelerated with Agile teams. Productivity has also increased in terms of teams being able to deliver faster. One of the studies from version 1 said that the respondents said that there was a 66 improvement in terms of the ability to actually deliver to market faster. Quality is a big driver also for Agile, and the reason behind that is because of the continuous testing within every iteration, defects are pretty much not the norm, they are the exception, as opposed to traditionally where you have that final defect finding phase, testing phase. So these have been some of the drivers. Here's another report from version 1 that was published, and they actually found out that the value realized from Agile adoption was accelerating the time to market, managing changing priorities, increasing productivity, quality. Improving visibility is another big one. Because of how much visibility you have on the project and how many demos and daily stand-up meetings and everything, you actually reduce the risk on the project because you can see where things really are at, as opposed to only status reports with % completion. So why should you consider obtaining the new PMI Agile certification? Well, for one, Gartner did report recently that 80% of all software development projects in the next couple of years will be adopting Agile. What does that mean for you? It means that sooner or later, it's probably not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when you might be on a project that needs you to know about Agile. Obviously, knowing both Agile and traditional waterfall practices just makes you more valuable for your organization. It is not that one is better than the other. It is just now you have both tool sets, and so if the project requires Agile practices, you now can demonstrate that you are qualified for that versus if it requires waterfall. The certification also does cover all of the practices and methods under Agile, compared to some of the current certifications that are out there are really focused on Scrum. So they're pretty much really testing you on your Scrum knowledge. This certification from PMI actually covers Agile, Kanban, Scrum, and some of the other Agile methods. It does also test you on leadership questions, soft skill negotiation, communication, collaboration, building high-performing teams. So it's a really interesting mix of all the Agile methods plus some of the soft skills. The other interesting thing is that for an entry-level type certification, it does have a little bit more rigor in terms that it does require you to have experience on an Agile project and pass an exam before you can get certified. Some of the other reasons is, well, right now you get a 20% off discount on the price of the certification if you can get this done by the end of November 2011. And of course, you can, flaunt that you are one of the early adopters of the certification. The other news that you may not know is that this certification is not only for project managers. This certification actually applies to any team member who has actually is an Agile practitioner and has years working on a project and also on Agile type projects. So we'll talk about our eligibility next. What is the eligibility to receive the certification? First, you need 1 year of experience being on a project team. Again, this is not project management experience, this is really being on a project team. If you have a PMP certification and you are a project manager, then you've already achieved this, obviously. And the 1 year of general project management needs to be in the last 5 years. You do have to have a minimum of 8 months, which is 1,500 hours. The 1 year of general experience is 2,000 hours. The Agile experience is 1,500 hours or 8 months minimum, using Agile on an actual team. You do need to go to Agile training, and as long as you have 21 PDUs of Agile training, then you would also qualify. And of course, we'll talk to you about the new 3-day workshop that we have to prepare you for the certification, and it meets this eligibility requirement. You do need to maintain 30 PDUs, but not every year, it's every 3 years. And those 30 PDUs do go against your PMP. So if you already have a PMP, they also apply there. And of course, you have to have your basic high school diploma. So let's talk about the exam questions and the cost for the exam. There are 120 questions, 20 of them are not scored, 100 questions are scored. You have 3 hours to take the questions. You can submit the application right now on pmi.org/agile, and the cost for the examination depends on if you're a member or not member. So if you are a member and you're doing the computer-based exam, it is $435. If you're a non-member, it's $495. If you are re-examining again, so let's say you didn't pass the first time, God forbid, and you need to take it again, that would be $335 if you are a member, and a non-member is $395. And when you need to renew your credential, it will be $90 for members and $130 for non-members. So let's talk now about the actual exam content, objectives, and the application process. The exam is going to cover 50% Agile tools and techniques, and 50% of the exam will be the Agile knowledge and skill areas. You can apply online, as we mentioned today, right away, and you have 90 days to process your application, which means if you're really, God forbid your application does take the whole 90 days to process, then you're pretty tight for getting into the by end of November deadline. So you really want to get your application done as soon as possible. You do have 1 year to take the exam after your application is approved, and your certification is valid for 3 years. Now, on the tools and techniques and the knowledge areas, I wanted to share with you some of the things that you'll be tested on. On the tools and techniques, there's communications, planning and monitoring and adapting, Agile estimation techniques, Agile analysis and design, requirements gathering, product quality and defects, soft skill negotiation, value-based prioritization, risk management in Agile, some Agile metrics, and value stream analysis. On the Agile knowledge and skill areas, there's a ton of those. There's 43 of them, and I'll just read you a few of them. Active listening, some of the Agile manifesto, brainstorming techniques, communication management, knowledge sharing, leadership tools, building high-performing teams, project chartering within Agile, facilitation methods and techniques, PMI's code of ethics, value-based analysis, applying new Agile practices, compliance within Agile, control limits for Agile projects, globalization, culture. So these are just a sampling of some of the things that will be covered in the examination. And again, the first exam actually starts September 15th. So if you get your application in, you may still be able to get into that. So some of the common questions, I just did a seminar for the PMI chapter, and some of the questions that I've gotten is, well, first of all, where can I find the exam learning objectives? Here's a short link that I've created for you for the PMI ACP handbook. That's really the place that you can start. Some of the book recommendations, there is no official book out yet. We have videos that we are launching to prepare you for the PMI ACP. So please register on our website, agiletraining.com, and you'll receive notification on our video preparation for the certification. You can also go to pmi.org/agile and you'll be able to see some of the book recommendations. Again, the pilot started in May and will end by end of November. If you are a PMP, then you can still get this certification. The value for you is that you will show and demonstrate your ability to know both traditional project management in addition to agile project management. And if you are a certified Scrum Master, have no fear. Your 2 days of training will apply towards the 21 PDU credit. Your 2 days of training is at least your 14 PDUs. So as long as you have 7 more PDUs, then that's how that applies. So you can take advantage of that certification, but it does not automatically qualify you for this certification. It goes towards the PDUs. I hope you found this overview of the new certification valuable. We here at agiletraining.com are absolutely committed to helping you pass the examination and giving you the information that you need. That's why we are absolutely excited to be one of the first to launch our 3-day workshop to help you prepare and pass your examination. You can register for it at agiletraining.com/PMI-ACP, or you can call us at this number or email us, and we will get one scheduled in your own city, your own location. We're also launching a very exciting video library that will help prepare you, learn Agile, and pass the certification. So thanks again for stopping by, and good luck on your certification.